So come and sit upright. If this is not comfortable, Virasana, then you can sit cross-seated, whatever feels good for your body. This is a really nice stretch for the top of the feet, the shins. And just take a moment and close the eyes down, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And just shut the eyes down and just start to investigate how you feel. When we close our eyes, it's allowing an inward turn, same as our forward folds. It's a physical inward turn. How does your physical body feel? And just start observing this pose from the floor up. So everything that's touching the floor, your toes, tops of feet, shins, knees. And start to press down as you lift up through the spine. And connect to the breath, inhaling through the nose. Lips closed, exhaling through the nose. 2 more cycles just like this, inhaling. Pause and hold, exhaling here. 1 more cycle of breath. Pause and hold, exhale. Bring the hands together at prayer, bringing them straight up to the third eye. Take an inhale to the top. And open the mouth, exhale out. Release the left hand down, right hand alongside the face, moving into Nadi Shanda. Alternate nostril breathings. Peace fingers, you're going to bend them down. Thumb over right nostril, ring finger left. Shut the eyes down again gently. Inhale through both nostrils. Close off the right nostril, exhale left. Inhale left. Close off the left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right, exhale left. Inhale left. Pause and shift, exhale right. Inhale right. Pause and shift, exhale left. Inhale left. Pause and shift, exhale right. Inhale right. Pause and shift, exhale left. 1 more full cycle, inhale left. Pause and shift, exhale right. Inhale right. Pause and shift, exhale left. Hands together at heart center, bowing chin to chest. If you'd like to bring an intention to this practice, or maybe something for the weekend ahead, or even offer all the energy that we cultivate together here, offering it to those who need it more than us today. Let's seal it in, pressing hands to heart center. Inhale, open the eyes, lift the gaze. Let's start a little different today. We're going to start standing up in a forward fold and bow. So just come all the way to the feet, come to the top of the mat, and just bend your knees and snuggle your ribs onto your thighs, and then drop the head down. Just hands release to the floor. And then just start to nod the head yes. So this kind of feels like child's pose, with your ribs resting on the thighs, but you're standing on your feet. Notice how you've now got this physical inward turn as well as the emotional and energetic turn with the eyes closed. And when you're ready, you're going to clasp the hands onto your sacrum and just start to lift the arms up and over. We'll keep the knees really generously bent here. Notice if there's any gripping in the neck. Maybe turn the head no. That's it. Good. Just change the clasp of the thumb. So just bring the other thumb on top. And when you're ready, start to lift the knees and the thighs up any amount. So you're lifting them up towards the hips and roll the inner thighs back. 2 more cycles of breath, just like this. Imagine my hands are holding your hands, lifting them up so those shoulder heads just lift up subtly. And when you're ready, release the hands to the floor and step your left foot straight back. That's it. Slide it back and then release the knee down. Release the toes. Walk the hands up onto the right thigh and just stay here. Just let it simmer. And you're steering the right hip back, rolling the left hip forward and then lift up. And then lift both arms up. Inhale here and then exhale. Sink into the hips here. Just nice, juicy hip opener. And imagine that there's a block between your palms of your hands, and then energetically you're squeezing into the space so the upper arms firm in. 3 more cycles of breath. So we're just slowing it down today, holding poses a little longer. But we're doing a nice amount of core work to just kind of facilitate every other pose in our practice. 1 more cycle of breath. Bend the elbows. And we're just going to turn a nice little turn to the right. Pause here. There's your first twist. Inhaling here. You can keep the arms bent, or maybe you're going to open the arms. Inhale. Sink into the front thigh. Now reach through that back hand. Maybe you need to double over the mat or a blanket. But that's it. Reaching through that back hand. Now squeeze the hips in. 3 more cycles of breath. Just notice how challenging it is to breathe because your diaphragm is twisted here. Keep reaching through the back hand. Inhale. And both arms up. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Good. Tuck the back toe under and then step the back foot up. Inhale, half lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Forward fold and bow. Step the hands to the floor. Step the right foot straight back. And just wriggle that back foot back, lower the knee, release the toes, and just stay here for 1 breath. Walking the hands up to the thigh. Inhale, and now sink into the front thigh. Squeeze your buttocks together. And now lift the chest up. Feels like Sphinx Pose in the chest. And when you're ready, you can keep the hands on the thighs, but lift up. So this is a really nice way to create space in your waist. Lifting the ribs off the hips. Inhaling here, and then sink into the front thigh, exhaling here. Connect through the toes of the back foot. So spread the toes, press down, and there's this nice scissoring effect. Feels like you're trying to squeeze your thighs together as you draw energetically that left heel back to the right knee. 2 more cycles of breath. Keep pressing the palms in towards each other. And now we're going to take our twist, bend the elbows to a cactus. Turn to the left. Good. Some of us are staying with the arms bent. Some of us are going to straighten them. Reach through the fingers. Watch your left knee. Mine was like starting to fall open to the side, and now reach through the back hand. 3 cycles of breath. Inhaling here. I find it a lot more challenging to hold the poses longer. It gets nice and juicy. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. 1 more cycle of breath. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, hands to the floor. Good. Step back into plank. And pause in plank. Good. Lift the back ribs up. Inhale. Exhale here. Inhale. We're just going to lift up into first down dog and just walk and tiptoe your feet all the way up towards the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Good. Walk the feet together. Come high on the tippy toes. And then bend the knees. Take your knees out wide. Walk the hands forward. 5 cycles of breath here. It's like malasana, but now the heels of the feet are together. And you're trying to draw the heels down towards the floor. Bow chin to chest. So finding Jarambandha, that energy lock in the throat. Lift the belly to the spine, Uddiyana Bandha, and then squeezing that muscle between the perineum, Muli Bandha. So just harnessing the energy into the body. 2 more cycles of breath here. You can feel the simmering in the hips. And just listen to the quality of your breath. If you haven't started Ujjayi breath now, maybe it's a good time. And then we're going to lower all the way down onto our back. So lower all the way down. Draw both knees into the chest. Wrap your forearms around and then bring your forehead up towards the knees and squeeze, finding compression. Maybe you can touch the knee to the nose because you want your sacrum to lift up. Good. So stay there. Now lift the shoulders higher and now lift both arms up. 5 cycles of breath. Try and keep the compression. Squeeze the thighs. Keep the knees coming in towards the nose, but lift the shoulder blades up. Feels like you want someone to grab your hands and pull you up. Good. 2 more cycles of breath. And both hands around the right knee. Extend the left leg straight and bring the nose to the knee. Lift up. Your left foot ideally is off the floor, but if you want to keep it on the floor, that's fine. Good. Same thing. Lift up. 5 cycles of breath. Keep the compression. Think about this pose when you're on your hands. It's knee to nose, gliding forward from plank pose or from down dog. That's it. 2 more cycles of breath. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. Good. And then swap sides. Left knee in. Grab the shin. Knee to nose. Point so much through that right toe that the heel floats up. And then lift up. 5 cycles of breath. Good. Lift the shoulder blades high. How's the breath? Soften the jaw. Good. And then bring both knees into the chest. Hands behind the head. Lift the shoulders high. Good. In this yogi cycle, extend the right leg, left elbow to right knee, but keep the shoulders up because normally we're down here. So the shoulders blades are on the floor, but I want you to lift the shoulder blades off the floor. That's it. 1 breath per movement. You should start to feel a nice little burn happening there. That's it. Keep going. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. That's it. So a nice amount of core work this morning. Keeping the practice strong. But not so many vinyasas. So not so many chaturangas. Good, keep going. 5 more. Each side, that's 1. And lift those shoulders, 2. Point through the toes, 3. Lift and squeeze the belly, 4. Elbow to knee, 5. Good. Inhale. Lower all the way down. Good, let's take a twist. Twist the right knee all the way over to the left. And then look to the right. Roll that right shoulder down. Point through the left toe. Should feel a really nice amount of activity going on in your core. I certainly can. And then other side, left knee in. Take a twist. Looking for a nice run this morning. So I feel right now this is like my cool down. We're going to roll all the way onto the belly from left-sided twist. So roll all the way over. And we're going to come into Sphinx Pose. Lift up the chest. And now this, you can feel that residue of all the core you just did. Lift the chest up. Some of you feel better staying with the elbows on the floor. Some of you are ready to lift the forearms up. Point through the toes, lift the knees. And then spread the toes, getting all 10 toenails onto the floor. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. 1 more cycle of breath. Come down onto the elbows. Tuck the toes. Lift up. Good. We're going to come into a forearm side plank. So have a look at your feet. Make sure they're staggered. Hips distance. And then we're going to drop both heels to the right. So the feet are staggered. Some of you are going to step the feet together. It's an option. Inhale here. And now peel and lift that left arm up. Good, arm up and over. So we're using the knitting in that side waist. Good, inhale, lift up. And then find that whisper of cat pose in the upper back. Lift the knees, lift the thighs. Good. Inhale, top arm up. And exhale, down to the forearms. And then just stagger the feet to the left. Inhale, peel the right arm up. You've got my back towards you. Arm up and over. 3 cycles of breath. Keep pressing down through the forearm to lift the bottom hip. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. One more cycle of breath. And hand down. Good. Turn the feet over so you're onto the top of the feet. Inhale, lower the thighs down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower all the way to the floor. Come back into Sphinx Pose. 3 cycles of breath here. Inhaling through the nose. Just take a look to the right, just finding the mobility in your neck. Exhale, center. Inhale, look to the left. And center. Good, coming all the way down into low cobra. Squeeze the elbows in. Point the toes. Inhale, lift. Just warming the upper thoracic, your upper back. Exhale, lower. Squeeze the elbows in. The elbows are pressing down as you lift the chest. Last one here. Inhale, lift. Float the hands off the floor. Zaina, you'll remember this one. And Michelle, press the pubis bone down. Now turn the palms in and imagine you've got that block. Some of you are going to float the feet off the floor. And then lengthen the head, the crown of the head away from your toes. Good. 2 more cycles of breath. Use the pubic bone and the hip bones, not your belly. 1 more cycle of breath. Keep pressing the palms together. Lower all the way down. Hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, you're going to press up into plank. Downward facing dog. 3 cycles of breath here. So I'm going to bring in some more strength work today. And we're going to play with press-ups, 3 press-ups, taking the chest almost to the ground or as far as you can go, and then holding knee to nose. So inhale, come forward into plank. Good. Exhale, lower all the way almost to the floor. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, press. If you need to drop the knees to the floor, please do. Exhale, lower. Lift the knees, lift the thighs. Good. Last one here. Inhale, press. Right knee to right elbow, hold. Actually, take it to the nose and hold. 5 cycles of breath. See if you can touch the knee to the nose. You did this when you were lying on your back. 2 more cycles. Feel the heat stirring in the body. And float the right leg back. Good. Left knee to nose. Lift up. Touch the knee to the nose and then start to press the crown of the head forward. Kick the heel of the lifted foot to the belly. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. Float the left leg back. Good. Lower all the way to the floor. Exhale. Hands behind the head. Elbows wide. Walk the feet together. Pubic bone and hips press down. Inhale, lift up. Lift the chest. Now float the feet off the floor. Keep lifting the back of the head into the hands. Spread the toes. Reversing that forward folding. Feels a little resistant for me. Don't know how this pose is feeling in your body. And 1 more cycle of breath. Lower all the way down. Good. Tuck the toes. Lift up into plank pose, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 cycles of breath. Now I bet you're wishing you had your vinyasas. That's it. 2 more cycles of breath here. Just drawing the heels down. Doesn't matter if the heels don't touch the floor, but energetically it's in that direction. Good. We're going to do the same thing again. Inhale, forward plank. Exhale, lower almost to the floor. Inhale, lift. Remember, you can drop the knees. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stay. Knee to nose, hold. Right knee. Touch the knee to the nose. Shoulders over the wrist. Kick the heel to the buttock. 2 more cycles of breath. There's a nice little gripping in the fingertips. Float the right leg straight back. Left knee to nose. Cuff the back ribs up. Find your cat pose, but make sure your butt is not up and you're in down dog. You're in plank pose. Lift the heel of the back foot as you kick the heel to the buttock. Good. 1 more cycle of breath. Float the left leg back. Lower all the way down. Exhale. Pause. Point the toes. Hands behind the head. Good. Inhale, press the pubic bone and the hips down as you inhale, lift. Float the feet if that's an option. 3 more cycles of breath. Reach through the toes. Soften the jaw, the eyes. Notice what sensations are coming up. What are you telling yourself? Where can you soften? Lower down. Good. Press out plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 cycles of breath. Inhaling through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh. Release it. 1 more cycle of breath here. Inhale, come high tippy toes. Step, walk or float. Feet up. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold and bow. Chair pose. Keep the fingers on the floor. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Good. Shift the weight into the heel and lengthen your sit bones back like you're actually physically going to sit on a chair. Both arms up. Inhale here. Now draw the ribs in. Exhaling here. That's it. You should feel a lot of heat in the body. 2 more cycles of breath. Draw those shoulder blades down. And then sink those hips lower. Squeeze the inner ankles, knees, buttocks together. Forward fold and bow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the left foot straight back. Good. Runner's lunge. Hands either side of the front foot. Put a bend into the back knee. Walk the hands up to the thigh. Pause. And then both arms up. Inhale. Exhale, sink lower. Good. That's it. Keep the back knee bent. Inhale, lift up and squeeze those palms together. How are you doing? Where can you soften? There's your work. Inhale. You're going to turn to your right and then reach through those arms. That's it. 3 cycles of breath. And start to straighten that back leg. We're going to drop your right hand to the back thigh or to your sacrum. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. 3 cycles of breath. Keep squeezing your thighs together energetically, like you're dragging the right heel back to the left heel. Inhale, both arms up. Both hands behind the head. Good. Now press the head back into the hands. And sink into the front thigh. And then lift the chest up and open. Same shape when you were lying on the floor. But now you're in a high lunge. 2 more cycles of breath. Start to straighten that back leg if you need to. Lift the back heel. Both arms up. Hands to the floor. Good. Inhale, step the back foot up. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Clasp the elbows. That's it. Just releasing. Spread the toes. Shift the weight. Utkatasana chair. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale here. So it's almost more challenging without the vinyasa, I feel. Poses are longer, more challenging. So you really feel the poses work into the areas of the body. That's it. 2 more cycles of breath. Sink lower. Draw those hips back. Forward fold and bow. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Float the left leg straight back. Good. Put a bend into the back knee. Inhale, walk the hands up. Sink. So you want to shift the body back. So notice how my body was forward, shift it back. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale here. Squeeze the palms. Draw the ribs in. It feels like you've got a little corset or a zipper that gently zips the ribs in towards each other, the rib cage. Good. Squeeze the buttocks. And let's windmill the left arm back. I see you. 2 more cycles of breath. Where can you soften? Jaw, tongue, eyes. Back hand to back thigh or sacrum. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Lift the top hand up. That's it. Feels like reverse warrior. Lift the back thigh into the hand. And windmill the hands to the floor. Set the back foot up. Inhale. Forward fold and bow. Exhale. Good. Utkatasana chair. Bend the knees, drop the hips. And weave in our twist. Inhale. Hands to heart. Exhale, twist to the right. Some of you are staying here. Some of you are going to split the arms. But have a look at your knees, and if you see your left knee pushing forward, draw the knee, the shin, and the hip back. That's it. 2 more cycles of breath. Forward fold and bow. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Utkatasana chair. Bend the knees. Shift the hips back. Both arms up. Hands at heart. Twist to the left. Pause. That's it. It's a gentle twist. Lengthen the spine. So you're pressing the tailbone back and then the head forward. There's a slight lifting, that whisper of cat pose, and then 3 cycles of breath for some of us with the arm split. Have a look at the knees again. That right knee probably creeping forward. Draw it back. Forward fold and bow. Let's take our first vinyasa. Inhale, lift, step back plank. Shift the weight forward, lower halfway. You can stay with low cobra, but pause and up dog. Lift the knees, lift the thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. And that felt pretty delicious, actually. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Inhale, float the right leg straight back. And normally we bend the knee and open the hip. I just want you to open the hip and keep the leg straight. That's it. You can point and flex that top foot. Maybe some of you might want to lift up on those left fingertips to stop you dumping into the hand. But 3 more cycles of breath. Inhale, look towards your left foot and just lift that left heel high. Lower it down. 2 more. Last one. Good. Right knee, right elbow, glide forward and hold. Pause, hold it, lift it up to the armpit. Swing it to the nose. Step it through. Back heel down. First warrior 2. Windmill that left arm back. Lift up. Exhale. Sink into the front thigh. Just now work the feet. Some of you might need to walk that back foot back. Have a look, make sure the front foot is straight. The heel is pressed into the back with the toes forward. Good, inhale, sink front thigh, exhale, press it down, and then activate that back hand. 5 more cycles of breath. Some of you might want to whisper of Garudasana, left arm over right. Inhale, lift. That's it. 3 more cycles of breath. Wherever you are. That's it. Draw that right hip back. There's a slight rolling of the left hip forward. Keep activating the back foot. 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale, open the arms wide. Reverse the warrior. Back hand to back thigh. Top arm straight up, not all the way back. And now sink. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink lower. Find the pinky toe of the back foot. Inhale, come back to warrior 2. Bend the front elbow. We'll start with modified parsva, top arm up. So use the forearm to steer your right knee to the right. Inhale here, sink down. Good, now firm that right buttock in. Arm up and over. I'm just going to shuffle back a smidge on my mat. That's it, arm up and over. Some of you are ready to drop that hand down. Maybe you've got a block Maybe you're going to bring the hand onto the ankle. I kind of like that. But keep working the elbow to keep drawing the knee back and over to the right. That's it. Sink lower, spin the chest. Lift up, look up. How's your gaze? What are you focusing on? And try not to look at the screen, but listen to the cueing, because you know it. Both you, Michelle, Zaina, you all know it. Good. 3 more cycles of breath here. Told you are the long holds. Drawing the belly in. Think about side plank. Good. Top arm up. Exhale, hand down. Both hands down. Drop the back knee down. Taking a twist. Inhale. How does your right hip feel? Mine feels on fire. Sink into the front thigh. Hands at heart. Lift the back ribs. You've got the option to tuck the back toe under. If you want to keep it down, you can. Others are going to lift up. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. Do you want to split the hands? That's it. And lift the back ribs up as you squeeze the belly, the buttocks together. And activate the big toe. I have a habit of rolling into the pinky toe. So press through the big toe. 1 more cycle of breath. And hands to the floor, either side. 3-legged down dog. Inhale. 3-legged plank. Exhale. Ardha chaturanga. Up and back. Downward facing dog. So we're already halfway through the class, and I think we've done 2 vinyasas. Inhale, float the left leg straight back. Now open the hip, keep that top leg straight. Circle the ankle, point and flex. Maybe lift up onto the right fingertips. I like to do that. Just finding stillness. Inhale, lift the right heel high. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 1 more. Left knee, left elbow, glide forward, hold. Lift and slide it up to the armpit. Knee to nose, and step it through. Just going to spin around. Warrior 2. Back heel down, windmill the arm back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Good, and just set the feet up. Most of us will need to make the stance a little longer. Notice if you're hinging forward, start to activate the back foot and the back hand by reaching back. Good, imagine you've got blocks. You're pressing down into the blocks, roll the shoulders down, and lift up through the crown. So there's like this plumb line, piece of string, pubic bone all the way up the spine through the crown of the head. Inhaling here, sink lower, exhale. Good, left arm over right arm over left. The bind's not available, self-love. Inhale here, sink lower. So you're pressing the left thigh down. Now squeeze the left buttock in. The slight rolling of that right hip forward. Some of you are going to look over the front shoulder. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Inhale, open the arms wide. Hinge forward, reverse the warrior. Hand to back thigh now, press in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Lift up. We're trying to lift the hip off this frontal thigh. That's it. Keep sinking, finding the back foot. Lifting the thigh into the back hand. 2 more cycles of breath. Steer your left knee to the left. Inhale, lift up. Maybe you might want to straighten your leg for a sec. Good, hinge forward, bend the elbow, forearm down, top arm up. Now think about side plank, lift up, peel, exhale, sink. That's it. How's the breath? Mine feels a little choppy. Maybe having that run before wasn't such a good idea. Arm up and over. Now I'm going to drop the hand down. That's it. 5 cycles of breath here. Activate that back foot. I like to pick it up, press it back. I love this pose. There's a long line of energy from the back heel to the hip, through to the fingertips. Spin your chin into the right armpit. And then lift the side waist And then you're knitting those ribs together gently. 2 more cycles of breath. Make sure the knee is over the ankle. And top arm up. And both hands to the floor. Drop the back knee down. Woo! How are we doing? You still with me? Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, sink. Hands at heart. Inhale, lift back ribs. Exhale, twist. Are you going to keep the back knee down? Or are you going to lift up? And certainly can feel that left hip. Squeeze the hips in. Press the crown of the head away from the tailbone. And then activate that back heel by lifting it up. One more cycle of breath wherever you are. Both hands down. 3-legged down dog. Inhale, float the left leg back. That feels really good. 3-legged plank. Chaturanga. Roll over toes. Up and back, downward facing dog. That's it. So you've got the option, if you feel like you want a child's pose here, you can take it. You can stay in down dog. 3 more cycles of breath. That's it. Make sure the head is nice and heavy. Ears in line with biceps. Walking the hands back towards the feet. That's it. Stay in that forward fold. And again, bend the knees. If you're in child's pose, you can stay there while we take child's pose over the feet. Grab the elbows. Some of you might want to just lengthen the hamstrings more by lifting the knees and the thighs. Keep a little whisper of a bend. Change the clasp of the elbows. And when you're ready, release the hands down. We're just going to unravel, bringing the hands up last. All the way up. Roll those shoulders down. Good. So we're going to create the same shape that we made. We've already made it twice. So we made it right at the beginning of class when we draw the knee to nose. So we're going to do it right here. We were lying on our back, and then we were in plank pose, and now we're standing up. I just want you to feel the same pose, but at a different angle. So draw the right knee in, grab the shin, inhale, lift. Play with seeing if you can touch your knee to the nose. And just pause, just hold it here. 3 cycles of breath. Don't worry if you can't touch your knee to the nose. It's just creating the shape. Notice how it feels in the body. Inhaling here, exhaling here. Now lift up. Warrior 3. Bring the hands on your hip points, and you're going to hinge forward. Keep the knee bent. Hinging halfway. Some of you are going to drop the hands to the floor if that feels better for your body. And now once you've hinged, then extend the top leg back. Reach the arms back. Some of you are going to bring the hands down. Some of you are going to put hands on block. Some of you are going to bring the hands to prayer. So stay here. 5 cycles of breath. Inhaling through the nose. Your hips must be talking to you because mine are. That's it. Lift those back ribs. Lift the shoulders like no Cobra. 2 more cycles of breath. Inhale, bend the knee, and then lifting all the way up. Draw the knee back up, both arms up. Soften the standing knee, point the toe. Stay right here, 3 cycles of breath. And cross the right ankle over the left thigh, hands at heart. Good, bending down. Some of you are going to stay here in figure 4. Some of you are going to play with bringing the hands to the floor. Maybe a flying pigeon, or maybe just lifting one heel off the floor. My arms are very sweaty, so I'm not sure I can lift that back leg. Oh, there it is. Hang on. That's it. And then wherever you are, walking the hands back, step the feet together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward folding bow. Good. Snuggle the ribs onto the thighs again. Drop the head. 3 cycles of breath. Lose any expectations because you know where we're going. So just land in the present moment and align your thoughts to the breath. Last round of standing poses. Release the hands to the floor. Lifting yourself all the way up. Roll the shoulders down. Pause. Good. Hands on hips. Standing into the right leg. A little whisper of a bend. Inhale, lift the knee. Good. Hands to shin. Inhale, lift. And then play. Knee to nose. 3 cycles of breath. Whoopsie. There we go. Single point of focus. This is what these balancing poses are wonderful. Drawing the senses in. Good. Bring the hands to the hips. Warrior 3. Hinge forward. Hinging, hinging, hinging. Keep the back leg, top leg bent. Once you find it, straighten the back leg. And you're going to work out what you're going to do with your hands. Reach them back. Keep lengthening the crown of the head away from the heel. And then lift those back ribs, lift the shoulder heads up. 2 more cycles of breath wherever you are. You can bend that standing knee as much as you need to. Good, bend the knee. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Pause. Both thumbs up. Inhale. Extend that left leg forward. Lift up. 3 cycles of breath here. Point the toe, see if you can lift the heel higher. And crossing the left ankle over, right thigh. Ekapada. Utkatasana, one-legged chair pose, figure 4. Some of you are staying here. Some of you are bringing the hands to the floor. Slide that right hip back. Inhale. Look kind of down. Inhale, float that back leg. Ooh, got the shakes in that leg. And coming all the way down. And release, forward fold and bow. I hope that went well for you. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Let's flush it out with a vinyasa. Good, inhale, forward plank, lower halfway, roll over toes. Pause and up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop down onto the knees. So we've got options. Option 1, child's pose. Option 2, dolphin pose. Option 3, an inversion of your choice. So if you just want to work with dolphin pose, I'm going to go straight up into a headstand today. The body is prepped, okay? So done tons of core, hip openers, shoulder openers. So I'm coming into a headstand. So you take whatever inversion. If you want to go into Pinchamayurasana, we did a lot of forearm work, or maybe you want to kick up against the wall. Do whatever feels good. Inhale. And we're going to stay for 10 cycles of breath. That's it. Notice where your eyes are at. No dancing. Soften the eyes. Lengthen up through the heels. Roll those inner thighs. Three more cycles of breath wherever you are. And make your way down wherever you are. Child's pose, 5 cycles of breath. Some of you want the hands reaching forward. Some of you arms reaching back. Arms reaching back for me feels really good. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. You might even want to just massage the forehead side to side. And just pause. Yogis believe that you find the wisdom in the pauses, both on and off the mat. Inhale, lifting yourself all the way up. Okay, come and sit on your buttocks. And reverse tabletop. So we're playing with these back bends. So we're going to take the hands. Normally we have the fingers facing straight in. We'll do that with the full expression in parsvakonasana. So reverse tabletop. So we're just going to turn the hands out to the sides of the mat. Roll the shoulders down, feet hips distance. Inhale, lift the hips. 5 cycles of breath. Look towards your belly, your thighs, and squeeze the outer knees and press down to lift the chest up. Chaturanga bandha, chin to chest, belly to spine, squeezing muli bandha. Maybe you can soften the exhale. Mine's a little choppy. One more cycle of breath here. And when you're ready, lower down. Good. Full expression of the pose. We're going to turn the hands in towards the buttock. I like to take the right foot and it's actively pressing that toe so it touches the floor. And I like to come in this way and take the left leg, both toes down. Inhale, lift. You can keep the head looking down to the chest or drop the head back. 5 cycles of breath. Press down through forefinger thumb. Big toes pressing, lift hips. Lift the chest. 2 more cycles of breath. Lion's breath, exhale. Last one here. Lowering all the way down. Good. Inhale, both arms up. Let's cross the legs. Flex the feet. Cross the legs at the shins. Forward, fold, and bow. 5 cycles of breath here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. And just breathing consciously into your back body, back ribs, back of heart, back waist. And keep that sit bones anchoring down as the hands lengthen away from the sit bones. And walk the hands back. Change the cross of the legs. So the abnormal leg is in front. So just notice which is your abnormal leg for the front when you change. Mine is the right. Inhale, lift. I even had to look. Exhale, forward, fold, and bow. Good. Activate the feet, pressing the sides of the feet down. Inhale, lift, back ribs, tiptoe fingers forward, exhale. One more cycle of breath. Inhale, walking both hands back. Open the legs into V shape. That's it. Flex the feet. Roll that pelvis forward. Inhale, both arms up. Measure the blocks between the hands. Flex the feet. Inhale, lift. Forward, fold, and bow. That's it. Inhaling here. And there's this nice release through the inside seam of your thighs, the groin. But notice when you press your heels down, the hamstrings connect and press down, the calf muscles do. And squeezing muscles to bone. Lengthen the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Some of you might even have the head on a forehead on a block or your hands. 5 more cycles of breath here. And count the breath. So you're in the meditation of the pose, sweeping conversations to the side. Shavasana is near and you're nearly home. Inhale, rise. Bring the feet together. We're going to finish with a twist on each side before Shavasana. Bend the right knee, inhale. Option 1, you can stay right here, just bringing the right hand behind and taking the twist. Option 2, cross it over. Option 3, swing the left foot back. There we go. So lots of options, always lots of options. Right hand behind the right sit bone. Notice how the shoulder will roll forward. You want to just guide lovingly that shoulder back. Inhale, lift. Some of you are going to take a bind. Some of you are just going to twist. So there's option 1, twist. Option 2, a little deeper. And then option 3, snuggling that arm all the way through. Sometimes you've even got to give it a little loving hand. Inhale and then exhale. Find the connection. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. 3 cycles of breath here. Make sure both sit bones are pressing down evenly. That's where a lot of the work is, trying to get that right sit bone down. Press actively through the feet to lift the spine and then squeezing the breath out on the exhale. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, release. Other side. Option 1. Option 2. Option 3, swinging that right leg back and connecting the left hip down. Left hand behind, inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Good, pause here. Option 1. Option 2, reaching down. Choose what's sustainable. But it's nice to try, inhale, lift, and then squeezing and just bringing that hand through for the bind. Good, inhale, lift, press through the feet, exhale, rotate. So you'll notice how if you've eaten this morning, that the twists are wonderful for digestion, but if you've had too much to eat, well, then it doesn't feel so good in the body. So I hope you didn't eat too much or eat it all. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, come back to center. And bringing yourself all the way down. But the most important, well, we'll take one more pose actually. So I'm going to give you the choice to pick the pose that your body needs right now. I think I'm going to take a happy baby. So coming down, grabbing the feet. This feels really good in my body. Maybe you wanted another forward fold and bow, parsvakonasana. Maybe you just want to go straight into Shavasana. Maybe a plow pose. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. I'm bringing the feet. I'm going to take my feet as wide as the mat and just let the knees drop in for a minute. Just releasing the sacrum. Both hands on the belly. Let's inhale for 6 counts to the top. You count the breath. Pause and hold the breath in and exhale for 6 counts. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 10. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 12. Taking the feet, you can stay, if you have a sensitive lower back, just stay with the knees bent and knees bent, knees dropping in. Otherwise, roll the shoulders under, extend the legs straight, palms facing up towards the ceiling so you're in a position of receiving. Or if you want to keep the hands resting on the lower belly, that feels pretty good too. And just receive your practice. All the different asana poses cultivated all the energy, and now you receive it. Let go of the breath and return to normal shallow breathing, and let go of the practice. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana and just treat yourself to a few more minutes of self-care. I'm going to bring us up and close the class out. So choose what fits your practice. Wiggling fingers, moving toes, lifting arms up and over the head. Breathe in. And just take a lovely long breath into every cell of the body. Deepest breath in. Biggest sigh out. Knees to chest. Finding that compression. This is right where we started. Knees to nose. And roll to the side. Bringing yourself all the way up. And just take a moment, palms facing up. Just receiving this practice and all its wisdom. Hands at heart center, bowing chin to chest in gratitude. Gratitude for all the benefit yoga brings us both on and off the mat. Pray to third eye. You're amazing. Humbly bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me.